Capcom's Maximo is back for another go with a new sequel, Maximo vs. Army of Zen. Much like in the first game, you have to sweat it out with only a handful of lives and lots of enemies and pitfalls to surpass. If you can get past the insane difficulty, you'll find Army of Zen to be a really deep and involving hack-and-slash platformer with a quirky style and a lot of heart. The story picks up sometime after the end of the first game, with Maximo and his pal Grim searching the wilds for Maximo's lost love, Sophia. Maximo soon realizes that the Army of Zen, a mythical legion of soul-powered robots, is on the loose, and so he sets out to protect the land from the new menace and figure out what the heck is going on. The story evolves through real-time cutscenes and CG movies throughout the game, and it stays compelling enough to keep you going even if the game weren't as fun as it is. If you played the first game, then Army of Zen will look pretty similar to you on the surface. Don't be fooled though, because Capcom has made a ton of fixes and upgrades under the hood. While the basic gameplay is still the same, Maximo can now purchase a variety of weapon and armor upgrades to help him out. The more you play the game, the more you'll discover how cool the combat is. Maximo can do basic side and overhead attacks with his weapons, and these can be combined in different ways to produce some really long combo strings. The longer your combos, the more treasure you'll get from the enemies you kill. Much like the first game, Army of Zen isn't all that long. That doesn't take into account the brutal difficulty of the game, though. Finishing it will take you a decent amount of time unless you have machine-like precision, but the fun of the gameplay and the unlockable goodies will keep you playing no matter how hard or how short the game is. You might want to prepare yourself, though. You start out with 3 lives at the beginning of the game, and that's it. No continues or anything like that. You can sometimes collect extra lives, but you'll have to be very careful to keep from dying too much if you want to make it to the end. The game is just punishing in a lot of its little gameplay touches. For instance, you never ever get your health and armor restored between levels. If you're down to your underwear with only a sliver of life when you finish a level and move on to the boss, too bad. That's how you're fighting him. If you like your action games unforgiving, this is about as hard as it gets these days. While the graphics are improved over the previous game, they're not really the best the PlayStation 2 has to offer. Army of Zen makes up for that in style though, aided with great character design and animation. By its very definition, Maximo vs. Army of Zen is a great sequel. It identifies flaws in the first game and fixes them, and it also has new, improved gameplay. Sure, it's hard to play at times, but it's the kind of game that keeps you coming back for more, no matter how many times you want to throw your controller against the wall. It's not for the faint of heart, but if you're looking for complex and rewarding action platforming, Maximo vs. Army of Zen really satisfies.
Yeah.